At dinner, my nephew looked straight at my 7-year-old son and said, "Only grandma's real grandkids get to eat first." No one said a word. My mom even laughed. I just grabbed my son's hand, stood up from the table, and walked out. Later, my dad texted me, "You can start paying rent now." I didn't even think twice before replying, "Then you can start paying yours too." And just like that, the family group chat exploded. At dinner, my nephew looked straight at my 7-year-old son and said something that made my stomach twist. He pointed at my boy's feet and muttered, loud enough for everyone to hear, that his shoes looked stupid. My son was wearing his favorite Lightning McQueen Crocs. Bright red, worn out from too many playground adventures. He loved them because they made him feel fast, like a little racer. But my nephew's face twisted with envy the moment he saw them. He didn't have a pair, and I could tell that tiny spark of jealousy was about to grow into something mean. A few minutes later, when the food was served, he leaned toward my son again and said, "Only grandma's real grandkids get to eat first." The table went quiet. No one said a word. My mom actually laughed. It hit me like a slap. I could feel my son shrink beside me, his hand tightening around mine, his eyes darting down to his Crocs. That was the moment I knew we didn't belong there. Not really. So I stood up. I didn't say anything. I just grabbed my son's hand and walked out of that house. The night air felt cold, but at least it was honest. My son asked if he did something wrong. I told him no. That sometimes people say hurtful things when they're jealous or confused. But deep down, I felt something break inside me. A few hours later, my phone buzzed. It was my dad. His message was short. "You can start paying rent now." I didn't even hesitate before replying, "Then you can start paying yours too." And just like that, the family group chat exploded. Everyone had something to say. Cousins I hadn't heard from in years, aunts pretending to stay neutral, my mom claiming I had overreacted, but none of them cared that my son was humiliated right in front of them. They just wanted to keep pretending everything was fine. That night, I sat on the edge of my bed, scrolling through the messages. I could feel my pulse in my throat. I wasn't sure what hurt more, what my family said, or how little they cared. I didn't know it yet, but that dinner was only the beginning. What came next would tear open every secret, every quiet resentment, every lie that had been holding my family together. The next morning, I woke up to a wall of missed calls from my mom. She'd left 3 voicemails, all variations of the same thing, that I embarrassed the family, that I should have handled it privately, and that my dad didn't mean the rent text. But I didn't call her back. I just stared at the screen, numb. My son came into the room dragging his little Lightning McQueen Crocs on the carpet. He asked if we could go back to grandma's next weekend, maybe when his cousin was in a better mood. I forced a smile and said we'd see. He didn't need to know that I had no plans of ever setting foot in that house again. By noon, my brother called. He didn't ask how I was. He just said mom was really upset and that I needed to apologize. I asked him if he even heard what his son said at dinner. He sighed and told me kids say stupid things all the time, that I was too sensitive. Too sensitive. That phrase stung more than I expected. I'd heard it my entire life. Every time I cried, every time I tried to stand up for myself, every time someone in that family made me feel like an outsider. That afternoon, my dad texted again. This time it was a photo. My old room, the one I'd stayed in with my son, completely emptied out. My childhood posters gone, the shelves bare. His message said, "We're turning it into a guest room. You'll get your stuff next week." I felt my throat close up. It wasn't about the room. It was about what it meant. For years, I'd been pretending we were still a family, even though my mom had never accepted my son as her grandchild. Not fully. She used to call him your boy, instead of using his name. I told myself it didn't matter, that love wasn't always loud, but now I could see the truth. That night, while scrolling through the family chat, I noticed something that made my stomach turn. My mom had sent a picture of my nephew to everyone, him wearing brand new Lightning McQueen Crocs. The caption read, "Now he's got the real deal. Grandma always delivers." The comments were full of heart emojis and "aw, so cute" messages.